Hello guys, full time at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Really good day for Arsenal, who go top of the Premier League. Resounding win. I think a real kind of flexing of the muscles of this Arsenal squad. And a good start back after the international break. A nice way to bounce back from defeat at Anfield and start off a big week for this football club because, you know, obviously we play Forest today. We then go to Bilbao to play Athletic Club in midweek in the Champions League, get our Champions League campaign underway. And then it's Manchester City at home next weekend, so the big games just keep on coming. I thought this was really impressive, really encouraging. Like I say, I have said, I think in a piece on The Athletic, that this is the strongest, or I think I said the deepest Arsenal squad in a generation. And I really believe that. It might be the deepest Arsenal squad ever, frankly. You know, because the squad size has improved and increased crucially over the last 30, 40, 50 years, basically throughout football, right? You know, we started with 11 players and then they added substitutes and then we went to 3 substitutes and 5 substitutes and so on and so on. Football squads have never been bigger. I'm not sure I've ever seen a bigger, deeper Arsenal squad than this. And if you think about the fact that Bukayo Saka was absent today, William Saliba was absent today, the amount of depth Mikel Arteta had at his disposal was really striking. I mean, look at the quality of the substitutes coming on. People like Declan Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard. Fantastic options at Mikel Arteta's disposal. I'm going to talk about a player who's part of that squad depth, really. I mean, there's a lot to get through today, but sometimes you've just got to talk about what really jumps out at you personally. For me, in this game, that was Christian Mosquera. I know we had a new look front three, all did very well. I know Zubimendi was kind of the hero of the day. I thought Mosquera was superb. He came on at Anfield. You know, that was a real test to replace William Saliba early on at Anfield. He came through that beautifully. And he continued that today. It wasn't just that he was tidy. There were a couple of really important interventions in his own penalty box. He was helped by having a superb Gabriel alongside him. But he looks a real find. And obviously I would urge a bit of caution because, you know, I've been doing this long enough to remember when, I think with young centre halves, you've always got to wait to see how things pan out in the long term. You know, the list of names of people that we've kind of hailed as the next big thing in Arsenal central defenders, going back to, you know, Johan Djourou or Philippe Senderos, to your Rob Holdings and your Callum Chambers. Let's have a bit of caution, but Mosquera looks like a player of real pedigree. Very easy on the eye, seemingly quite unflappable in nature, physically strong, quick. He has slotted right in, and credit to the leadership at Arsenal for identifying him and securing him for a brilliant price. You know, I think it's less than 15 million euros that Arsenal paid in the first instance for Mosquera. That is a real bargain, and there aren't many of them in European football, certainly English football, anymore. Let's talk about the lineup. I mean, Mosquera, yeah, he was in, obviously, Saliba is back training, could maybe feature in Bilbao, but not risked today. Again, that's that big squad, that not needing to risk. Declan Rice, another significant omission, dropping down to the bench, presumably with the view that he'll have 2 big games to play next week, and Mikel Merino's coming off the back of a hat-trick for Spain. So Merino and Odegaard and Zubimendi start together for the first time, I think, since July 2020, and that was for Real Sociedad, reunited in the Arsenal midfield today. Eze gets his first start on the left wing. Madueke continues on the right, and Gyökeres up front. Calafiori at left back, I should have said, stays in the team. He's having a really good run. And I think Arsenal, look, the first half an hour I don't think was particularly inspired. It felt, I'm not there today, but it sounded a bit flat on television. I mean, people who were there will have to tell me if that's how it came across. It the game really opened up with a brilliant goal from Martin Zubimendi. Came off a Noni Madueke corner. I thought Madueke, by the way, his set-piece delivery was really good. I think that's probably puts paid to Declan Rice's outswingers from the right-hand side when Rice comes back into the team. I think Madueke showed he can do a good job delivering from that right-hand side while Bukayo Saka is out. He's obviously coming off the back of a really strong international showing with England, and he looks like a smart signing, someone who's made a really good start. And look, I don't think it's a deal many Arsenal fans were in love with initially, but he looks quick, strong, very direct, very purposeful in possession. And I think that's maybe what we need in Saka's absence. His delivery's headed out, and Zubimendi, wow, what a contact. I mean, a little nick on it from Murillo, I think it was, who tries to block it with his head, takes it past Sells. I'm not sure Sells is stopping it anyway. It's hit with such sweetness, such power. What a way to open your Arsenal account. I wondered if how we'd beat sort of Olivia Smith's first goal for Arsenal on the men's side. This was similar, brilliant strike from range into the back of the net, flies past the keeper. Fantastic and really lovely for Zubimendi. I think it's the first time he's ever scored from outside the box, so probably not what he was bought for, but he's obviously been taking finishing lessons from Mikel Merino. So that opened the game up a bit. Madueke was a real threat, I thought, on the right-hand side. Some nice touches from Eze. Martin Odegaard did go off with an injury. It looked like the same injury that he suffered earlier in the season. I mean, landed on that shoulder and was in a lot of pain straight away. I think he's probably been playing with pain-killing injections, but obviously whatever happened cut through that. So, bit of doubt over him for midweek, you'd think, but Ethan Ranieri comes on and did well enough. In fact, he might have felt he could have done better with a couple of shooting chances. He's normally a bit more accurate, but had a decent enough game. Second goal comes after half-time. Ball over the top from Calafiori, not for the first time this season. He is one of the players in this squad who's not averse to playing those early penetrative passes. Eze times his run beautifully and just rolls a first-time left-footed cross across the box for Gyökeres to tap in. Real quality from Eze, and Gyökeres knew it. He immediately pointed at the number 10 as if to say, thank you very much indeed. That's his first assist in an Arsenal shirt. Third goal for Gyökeres in, 4 games? Not too shabby. I do think these are the games where his stats will be padded out. He scored twice against Leeds, one against Forest today, hit the post as well. That was a lovely move and good effort, actually. Tempting to say he should have crossed, but I think we know we've bought a player who's not going to cross, who's not going to pass, who's going to take the shot on, and I think, in some respects, that's the value he brings to the squad. So that was 2-0. 3-0, Martin Zubimendi with a header. Trossard comes on, clips one to the back post. Zubimendi heads it towards goal. I think this one also takes a nick. I think he heads it against the back of the Forest defender and it clips up, oversells into the net. I'm not sure what odds you would have got on Zubimendi scoring twice today, but there you go. And we were able to make a number of changes, as I said. Rice comes on, Lewis Skelly comes on, Trossard and Martinelli. Did we make a fifth sub that I'm forgetting? I'm actually going to check, guys. There was no cameo for Max Dowman today. Ranieri obviously came on for Odegaard, so that was the first sub actually we made in the game, about 20 minutes in. No debut for Nkapia, he was on the bench. Could he get a game in midweek in the Champions League, perhaps? Be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does over the next week. You'd think he'll want to go super strong against City. Very similar team to this. Maybe Saliba in for Mosquera, maybe Rice in for Merino. Let's see how he plays it. Will he offer rests to different players? It was interesting, Gyökeres came off with 22 minutes to go. He's probably the one player who can't get a rest at this point in time. He's the only out-and-out striker in the squad, and as such, he's going to play a lot of minutes. But yeah, really good performance. I mean, it was Ange Postecoglou's first game as Forest manager, Edu as well, back in the director's box at the Emirates Stadium. I'm sure he got a good reception from his former colleagues, but certainly no new manager bounce from Ange. And I have to say, I wasn't too worried about that coming in. We have had a bit of over the years, I remember many games where new managers come in and immediately had a kind of transformational impact on the team. But this was not that day. So there you go. So yeah, big week coming up. I'm going to be watching from home on Tuesday night, is it, against Athletic Club, and then I'll be at the game against City on Sunday. Very, very exciting, and I'll speak to you all soon. I'm recording an Arsecast tonight because Andrew's off to the Basque Country, but I'll leave it there for now, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.